Alright, what's going on? Today we got us a new part. Roughly there. We got me a visor for the Comanche. Show's going on. That needs a lot of work, so fiberglass repair day today, I guess. Well, let's get going. So this is the new unit. Mean looking piece of damaged fiberglass. So this is for my 89 Comanche, and it needs a lot of work. Not too worried. We do have to paint this, which is perfect. She's got a lot of shit going on. She's got some demons for sure. Now the good news is the fiberglass itself is not cracked. Okay, it might be cracked now. Looks like the cracking is mostly in the gel coat. So that's good and bad news. Good news is it's not structural. Bad news is it looks like shit. So, fiberglass, super easy to fix. When we're looking at this, you can tell these are just going to be stress cracks. I'm willing to bet this is because the middle piece is missing. Again, not too familiar with this visor setup. From what I've seen, there usually is a third member in the middle that is structural and or a vent. I don't know what I'm working with here. So for now, we're just gonna go with these 4 mounting screws. While we're doing this, we do want to make sure, obviously, that this is not going to explode or fly off at the slightest breeze or sneeze. So the good news, like I said, these are just stress cracks. If you looked on the underside, the fiberglass itself is not cracking. So usually for these fiberglass molds or factory anything, for the paintable surface is called a gel coat. So what we got to do is I'm going to get, you can use a file or sandpaper. I don't have that time. So what I got to do is for all of these cracks, I have to chase it with a carbide bit, preferably a rounded tip. And I have to go through, cut down all the way to the fiberglass, and I kind of want to round it off. The gel coat is very hard on these fiberglass pieces, so what I gotta do, take this carbide bit, I gotta chew through these cracks, open them up a bit around the edges, preferably not a sharp tip, and I gotta follow the crack. I need to go past the ending of the crack, so on the edges, I get a little creative. Up here, the crack stops there, I gotta go up a little further. That way we're going to completely get rid of that cracking situation. And then I'm going to use some Bondo glass. This is going to be for the fiberglass gel coat itself. If the cracks were into the fiberglass, I'd use the long strand, or I'd even use fiberglass and shape it up and build it up from the inside. But like I said, the structure itself is not damaged, but it does have a ton of this cracking. So honestly, I probably have to ream these out a bit, build it up with the glass. Yep, build it up with this glass, and I might just re-drill these holes. Because I'd want a lot of build up. Obviously, this is where the stress is going to be, and I would like to reduce cracking in the future if possible. So, looking at hardware, whether I'm going to go riv nuts, I would prefer not using self-tappers, but I'll do some looking. I got a lot of work before then. We do have a week of possibly not shitty weather. As you can see, 3 days ago I was snow plowing in the Civic, and now all of a sudden you can see the ground and wear t-shirts. So if I got time to paint, this is it. Let's get going. Alright, so just threw on some light here. I dug down to the fiberglass on all of these cracks. There's a lot of them. I'm going to start sanding this area down. Once I get that all nailed, I gotta start coming around here, cleaning this up, fixing a bit of damage on the edge there, and then same thing on that side. Then, I can start scuffing the whole thing, hit it with 400 grit. So most of the surface here will be ready for paint. And then I can start doing the fiberglass repair here. Pretty much the entire visor. At that point, I have to let this sit probably for 2 days since it's warm, not warm enough. On the underside, one of these sides, I am gonna fill it up a bit more on the inside with actual fiberglass. Right here, burn through a little bit, and you can see there is a crack. So I do get to do some fiberglass repair on the inside. Now on the outside, we just have to do the gel coat or glass repair. So doesn't look great. I tried feathering it out with a carbide bit. Then we get hit it with sandpaper, and we gotta go from there.
I regret my confession, I shouldn't have spoke, 'cause you didn't feel the same way about me, and it's eating me alive all of the time. So I'd rather keep my distance from you. You don't gotta lie to me to get through. Push and pull me off into the deep end, and let's pretend that nothing ever happened on that night.
Well, we got our first batch of glass on. It's a little thick in some spots, but I think this should be pretty damn good that I can scuff it down to kind of the right size. And then go for round 2 using the glass. Hopefully that'll be it, then back to Bondo. So this is where she's gonna sit for a day or two till I can let it cure in this weather and get back to it. So on to different things, I guess. Well, I'll be honest, had better days. Damn. Alright, well, we got some much needed snow. Yeah, it fucking came. It did its job real good last night. So I guess we're doing body work and a foot of snow. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Civic might just be stuck here, so might be the Jeep's day. I got all the fiberglass gel coat on, so I guess kick that down with some 80 grit. I do not joke around. And then Bondo and so on. So much for this warm week to paint. Might have to get some different reducer, but see if we can even paint this week. Let's get going bright and early. Whew. Well, this is her. Got to do the rest of that with my hand. Don't worry. Down here, you can see kind of the extent of the stress cracking I had. I had to gouge out all of these. This was a pretty good one. So I had quite a bit of buildup here of the gel coat. Hit that with some 80 grit. Once it's down to this, it's pretty smooth down here towards the back. Right here, we are going to hit it with some normal Bondo. That's just going to be to smooth it out a bit. I think it's a little too much for glazing putty to save, so we're going to go Bondo. Also, for the record, wear a respirator. That was a joke, especially with fiberglass. That'll cut your lungs short, so I joke a lot. Respirator with fiberglass. See, I am safety conscious. Sometimes. Let's throw some stuff on there to do the smooth stuff, and then we're good. Move on to other stuff. You guys ready for some fine motor skills? I don't have that. That almost went too well. What am I doing? Oh, it's hardening already. That's so you know you nailed the ratios. It hardens in half a second. So I'm no auto body tech. I have had some experience in my past, however. So these are the two Bondos I'm using. This one is just a normal body filler. That's going to be used for smoothing out anything after the main sanding that I've done with the 80 grit. That's a normal Bondo. This stuff is called glass. Now it's not at all the same texture as this. This does have some fiberglass strands in it, but this is going to be more for the gel coat, which is the actual smooth coating you see, instead of that rough fiberglass. So, all the stress cracks were in the gel coat, so I use that stuff. If it is cracked through into the fiberglass, you'll have to get similar, but it says hair or long hair. That's a little more structural, but it is more coarse. So for what I'm doing here, I just need that smooth finish to paint. That's what we're using this bad boy for. So, use those two, sand, should primer, probably not going to primer, paint, good to go. Another day in this beautiful winter. So, Visor's coming along. It was a late night. Had to do a lot of work on this side here. You can see these are all the gouges I had to dig out. All of these were stress cracks. So I got lines everywhere. So they're all filled. Pretty damn smooth. I know right here is going to give me some trouble in paint. That's not perfectly smooth there. And up here, where the scoop's going to go, a little rough, but again, scoop. So not too concerned. I just wanted to get all the stress cracking out of there as well. I gotta do some more final sanding. I did run out of time yesterday, but got most of the cracks gouged out and filled up. So this is going to be the gel coat, and that's some body filler Bondo. So everything's feeling nice and smooth. Reinforced where the screw holes are going to be, up here as well. So it's shaping up pretty good here. I just have this front edge now. I'm going to knock down with some 400 grits. Hand sand that because it's got a bit of a curve to it. And hopefully get some of these out. Again, I'm not looking for perfection. It's going on a Jeep. It's getting single stage, so it'll cover a lot of these tiny things, but these cracking up here, I'm gonna have to kiss out of there. So coming along, gonna hand sand this, and then maybe in 3 hours, 5 hours maybe, it'll be sunny and warm and warmer, and we can start throwing some paint on it today. So very excited. Gonna go try and sort out the other part that I just picked up, figure out what I'm doing there. Wait for the sun to get up a little more, and then hopefully we can throw some paint on, because I am starting to get real excited thinking about this. I'll drill holes before the paint. Hopefully, I might forget, who knows. I'll grab you guys when I have an update. Probably be a couple hours, but see you then.